For what,
Yeah.
pal? It's a
Yeah.
check on the box so you don't look like an
Exactly.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for episode 16. My name is Brandon Nash, aka Sergeant Nash. We have Staff Sergeant Mike Barreri, retired. And this is Sergeant's Corner.
We talked about this, and I really think that a good topic for our subscribers, our fans, whatever you want to call you,
Our troops.
our troops, basically would be the transitioning out of the military. I think this goes for military spouses as well. Whenever you move back home or whatever, how is the transition for families and soldiers? My personal experience, I don't think it was that great. And I think that the military, the way they do the capstone and, transitioning out is horrible. And I think that would be a good topic to talk about. And I'll share my experience, and I want you to share your experience.
Yeah, we'll do a little bit of back and forth because obviously everybody has a different experience when it comes to the enforcement of using the TAP program and stuff. Try to give us the resources that set us up that we're getting out of the military. So, hey, go do this. Sometimes people will go to the job fairs and they'll have their, and it's not necessarily jobs that people want to do, but it's just kind of a welcome back to civilian life, right? Now, with mine, I already kind of knew what I was doing, self-employment wise. So I kind of ignored it. I did listen though, and there is some informative stuff in there. And some people do end up with really good jobs that they find nice. The problem is, and you're one of the people, it's like, if none of those jobs resonated with you, what now?
Yeah.
And I think one of the downfalls of leaving the military is that they want you to be a soldier ready to deploy 24/7. The second you decide to leave, they don't care about you at all. They don't care if you have a job lined up. They don't care where you're going. They say, hey, we're going to give you this guideline. Do what you want with it. If you're going to get a job, you can. We can help you that direction. But they're not really enforcing the job. And the only thing that bothers me with that is that, let's say I'm your sergeant, right? And you're my Joe. And I'm like, hey, you're going to do this, this, this every single day, right? Now I've trained your brain to listen to me and follow my orders for years now. Now I'm saying, be free, young one. And I expect you to just do whatever the you're going to do. So what are you going to do if all you know is to listen and follow, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be one lazy bag. You're like, it seems like a sense of relief. Like, oh, I don't have to do nothing. And this is where we got in this conversation of why is there so many homeless veterans? Why do people not know about certain programs or certain jobs that they were entitled? Like they have a better opportunity trying to get them being a veteran. And I don't think that we prioritize people getting out as much as we should versus, oh, do this every day of your life for years. And then, oh, you want to leave? Good luck. Have a good one. And they just kind of boot you out the door. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me your how TAP and all those things went for you as you were exiting the military.
So I think, so here's my thing, right? Like, I think it's different for certain soldiers. Like if retirees that are put in their packets compared to ones that are either getting kicked out or ones that it's unexpected, or the ones that are getting medically chaptered, that's different. Because a retiree, I feel like, all right, it's coming, right?
Yeah.
You plan it 2 years in advance, a year in advance. You're mentally getting ready for it. You have an end date, and you can start, like we do in the military, backward planning.
Right.
However, with medical retirees, ones that are getting chaptered or stuff like that, it's unexpected and it's rushed. And I feel like the unit are pushing them out fast. They want them out of their hair because they're just basically someone that they need to babysit, they feel like, so they need to get them out, and they're just checking the block,
Yeah.
you know? And that's how I felt with my transition. Um, and I wasn't getting much support from my unit because the job that I was doing was pretty critical. I did schools, land and ammo, like I was doing a lot of important, I was wearing a lot of important hats at the staff level. And I was trying to get them ready. Like whenever I found out I was getting medically retired, I was trying to get them like, hey, I need a replacement. I didn't have what do you call it? An alternate. You know how every job has an alternate. We
Right.
always train. No, I didn't have one, and I've been asking for one for the longest. So I didn't even have the support from my unit to go out. Like I had to beg them for that CSP that me and you did, Brandon.
Yeah.
I had to beg for that. Like they wouldn't let me do the
Yeah.
CSP.
So did I.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah. Like I
And
remember. Yeah,
it
you
was,
you were struggling with
yeah,
your
we
unit too.
barely were able to even do it. And the funny
Yeah.
part is both of us are medically discharged
Mm-hmm.
veterans.
Yeah.
So if anything, we should have been the easiest ones to ask, hey, we want to do this
Yeah.
because we are getting out. You already know it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not like they're trying to say, oh, do another term. We already did that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? This time we're on the way out. We ask, hey, I really want to do this CSP. For people who don't know, that's a program. For instance, Mike and I did construction. They have HVAC. They have just a bunch of different things,
Electrical,
right? It's not all
plumbing.
blue
Yeah.
collar, but they do have the majority, I
Mhm.
would say, is blue collar.
Yeah. Yeah, you can even actually create your own, like,
Yeah. Yeah, you could
CSP
come
as
up
well.
with like, oh, I want to
Yeah.
do this coding and blah, 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 and have a site,
Mhm.
right? So the thing is they make it so hard for you to say, I would like to leave the military. Even in our
Mhm.
instance, we are basically
Mhm.
being forced out
Yeah.
based off of injury, right?
Yeah.
And then you get treated like shit. They're like, oh, well, mission
Yeah.
first, right? I need you to
Yeah.
pull staff duty so you can't go.
Oh.
How
Mhm.
many times has this happened, right? And in
It's
their
like,
eyes,
well,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, you're useless. You're a useless sergeant now, so just go do that. It's like, shouldn't
Mhm.
you set me up, make sure that I'm good when I get out? But instead, it's like, let me use every last drop of blood, sweat, and tears they have left, and then kick
Yeah.
them to the door. That's exactly how it is, man.
Yeah,
I
no,
hate to say it. Some people do have it better, and the ones that are like, oh, it was just you guys,
yeah.
you're full of shit. The ones who have it easy are E7 and up or an officer, right?
Mhm.
Because they
Yeah.
already know, hey, this guy's he's relieving his first sergeant duty, so go do whatever you want until you're out.
So it's not just that, it's also got a lot to do with the good old boy club, you know what I mean? Like, if you're
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
part of that, it doesn't matter what rank you are. Like, I know a couple of E7s that struggled to
Yeah.
basically get out. But I think it's with units, it's the fact that it's unexpected, it happened, it kinda just, medical separation, like, w no one was prepared for it to include the unit. Like, for example, my unit,
Yeah.
like schools, all that stuff, they weren't expecting to try to find a replacement. All of a sudden, like, "Hey, this guy's getting med boarded." "What?" No, he's fine. It's gonna take a while. We need him to do this, and that."
Right.
So I wasn't getting any support. Like whenever I was asking for a CSP or I was making these appointments, I had to reschedule. They made me, dude. Like they made me. Um, well, they can't force you, but they basically made it seem like you need to reschedule. We can't tell you to reschedule your
Yeah.
appointments,
We
but
all
we
know what
need
that
you.
means, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They
You know
they
what I
don't
mean?
hold a gun to your head, but at the same
No,
time, they can
exactly.
make your life a living hell unless
Yeah.
you do what they want.
Yep. Yeah.
So
And
that's
so
you're being
basically,
forced, yes.
yeah, and so I had to reschedule a lot of my, medical appointments, I had to reschedule a lot of my, um, processing appointments, and I felt like I was yeah, there was nothing I could do about it, like,
Yeah.
if I said anything, like, they were gonna with me, and I didn't want that.
Yep.
But, yeah, so I had issues with support from my unit. The other issue I had was with the transitioning program itself. I feel the whole program in itself is basically dependent on the soldier seeking the information. It's not like all planned, like, hey, you're gonna know about this, this, and that. We're gonna teach you this, this, and that. It's more like seek the information out
Right.
and educate yourself. For
Yeah.
example, one of the things I didn't know, right, is about the VRE program. There was no briefing about that. Like, there's
Yeah.
no sit down, like, hey, someone from a counselor from the VRE program is going to come down and talk to you guys. There was none of that. There
Yeah.
was no, I didn't know, for example, us being medically separated. Did you know that you could apply for unemployment
No, actually, I didn't.
for up to 18 months? I didn't
I
know.
don't think I was briefed on that now.
Yeah, I wasn't briefed either. You could have. Like, you could do it. You could basically not double tap, but do it through Hinesville, like do it through Georgia, where we came out of, and then when that runs out, do it through your home state, Florida
Oh,
for you, and it would have been
right.
North Carolina for me. I didn't know that. No one told me.
My
So
situation was
basically, like,
different though because I got
yeah,
out.
because you
I
already
drove
had,
home 7, 8 hours,
yeah.
whatever it took me. I went to bed and I went to work the next morning, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So you
So
had a job lined up, and a lot of soldiers
yeah,
unfortunately
they
don't.
don't have that option.
They don't have that option. You know what I mean? Like,
Nope.
I didn't have that option because, like I said, I wasn't. Yeah, I mean, I was medically. The med board took a while,
Yeah.
but most of the time, bro, my like I said, I wasn't getting support from my unit. I
But
was
yeah,
I was being treated like I wasn't mentally ready for it because the I was my unit was treating it like I was still in, and I had a job basically.
exactly.
So I wasn't mentally ready for it. Like, it didn't come, like, didn't
The
what do you call it?
realization of it, right?
Yeah, the realization of it didn't hit me until,
Till you're
all
getting
right.
patted on the shoulder, handed your and you're like, have a good one, man.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah,
oh,
like,
dude, I don't have a job, you know?
yeah. Yeah, like, I got into the CSP program. I was doing the CSP program, and even with the CSP program, as I'm doing it, I'm still going to the unit, helping them out with schools, helping them out with acquiring land, ammo, reservations,
Yeah.
putting out fires. Um, and then all of a sudden, I'm done with the CSP, and a month, 2 months later, I'm done. Like,
Right.
I'm out processing.
Yep.
So even though my med board took about, God, I think it was like 18 months, Brandon.
Oh yeah, it's a
Like,
long
it
time.
felt like, yeah,
Yeah.
it felt like I was put out in the street within 2 months.
Yeah. And
You know,
even mine, like mine was a little bit shorter than yours, but it was so
yeah,
unnecessarily long, right? Because I think the
yeah,
total of mine was from start to finish, I'm gonna say 14 months, but they
hmm
don't count it until you get that first acceptance of right,
yeah,
even though you start the process. So after process started, it was a 10-month med board. But
yeah,
originally, it's like 14 months long. You got to go see, you got to be seen, and then they decide, and like, okay, you know what? I think we're going to send you to IDES and yada, yada. Um, you know, and I don't want to touch base too much on this just so we can wrap it up quickly.
hmm
We just want to basically encourage the leaders that do follow us and stuff that
yeah,
you really need to, I'll put it this way. Obviously, there is self responsibility involved. You are an
hmm
adult.
oh yeah,
You should know I need a job, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, for that counter, you're telling that to a person, as I stated. For years, you told them just do exactly what I say and you will have
yeah,
no issues. And then
yep,
you tell them right after that, figure it out yourself. You're done. You know what I
hmm
mean? It's a contradiction of, am I supposed to be listening to you or am I supposed to be doing what I need to do?
yeah,
And
yeah,
then, we'll have a guest on eventually. And he told me about his process. He didn't get a CSP. They knew he was getting out. And they said, well, we'd rather you go to this range with us and instead of you allowing to do that.
mhm,
And mission
yeah,
first. It's like, when is mission first not prioritized to people who
yeah,
are getting out? Like you already know, hey, this guy's leaving in 3 months. Don't sit there
hmm
and say, well, mission first, they need to go to the range and qualify. For what,
yeah,
pal? It's a
yeah,
check on the box so you don't look like an ass.
basically,
One of the
basically,
things
bro,
I
yeah,
was going to bring up
yeah,
that I think that would change that accountability for leaders to ensure their soldiers get the help they need and make sure, hey, listen, you better have something lined up. They should evaluate a first sergeant and the commander on which soldiers have reported, I already have a job when I'm getting out. Because if they make it part of the evaluation, now you're telling those senior leaders that, hey, we're going to be checking, dude. If you have a 50% or less that your soldiers are getting out with no jobs, this, you're doing something wrong, right?
Yeah.
And I don't care about the workload, right? It's called delegation. You have platoon sergeants, you have squad leaders, you have team leaders. Make somebody appointed to, hey, do they have a job? What do they want to do? If you don't want to have a job, go to school, right? Because veterans get paid to go to school. Do something to ensure that you have some sort of income when you leave that duty station.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for you, what do you think, after 17 years of serving, you're in your 40s now, what is the hardest part about getting a job?
The hardest part about getting a job is like adjusting from military life to civilian. Like the whole mentality changes. You know what I mean? Like you said, you're used to being told what to do, where to go, where to PCS. Hey, you know what to expect.
Right.
You know, as far as in the civilian world, like there isn't that. Like you have to basically do this crap on your own and
Right.
figure things out on your own. Like there's no waiting around. Like, all right, I'm waiting for my PCS orders or
Right.
this
Yeah.
or
I'll just
that.
sit here until someone says something.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. There is none of that. And yeah, that's not what I was doing. Like, uh, when I got out, like I really didn't know. Like I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. Basically,
Yeah.
like that's the best way I can describe it. Like I the military job I had, I didn't see how it translates into the civilian sector. I do now recently, within the past month, I'm
Yeah.
starting to see that. But before, there was no one that sat down with me and said, "Hey, listen, your CBurn job, um, it translates into emergency management, or you could work
Right.
for, the safety side, hazmat, this, that, EPA, OSHA." I didn't know that. Like,
Right.
and it makes sense because I worked with all that stuff at the
Yeah.
battalion level. Um, there is none of that, and that's where I think the military fails a lot of soldiers. The programs they have to help soldiers transition out, to translate um, their military skills and all that stuff
Right.
into the civilian world, is just non-existent.
Yeah.
Soldiers have to figure it out on their own,
I'm
and I don't think it's fair
sure
for them.
if you, I'm sure they have that availability of, hey, we do have somebody that does that. The problem is they don't make it mandatory. Or let's put it
Mhm.
this way: I was a combat
Yeah,
engineer,
yeah,
didn't go through TAP, and I didn't go through my IDES. I didn't go through anybody when it was my mandatory route to get out. Nobody said, listen, you're a combat engineer. Here is your options if you want to continue something that follows these lines, right?
hmm
They don't do that. They don't tell you, hey, man, you're very skilled at this job because you've been doing it for 6 years. You've been doing this for 17 years. This is what is a good job. Like people get out and these are the top 3, top 5. You just get told, hey, man, do you want to do something? What do you want to do?
yeah,
Border Patrol's great. How many times do you
yeah.
hear about Border Patrol? They try to
Oh
get you
my
in Border
god,
Patrol,
yeah,
everybody. Hey, Border Patrol's
yeah,
great. You know how to shoot a gun? You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like, give people the opportunity and the options. And again,
yeah.
I understand the self responsibility. We're adults. But at the same
Mhm.
time, you want these perfect soldiers who only listen to what you're saying, and then you kick them to the curb as soon as it
Yeah,
comes time to, oh, you ain't my problem. I need somebody filling your spot. Get out. You know?
exactly. And that's the issue. That so I think we need to change the way the army looks at, or units look at, soldiers that are getting out. Because
Yeah.
guess what? The issue is that they're occupying a slot in the per stat, right?
Yep.
So I was taken up, and actually I was taking up an E7 slot at my battalion level, right? So
Yep.
they couldn't get a replacement for me.
Yeah, they can't get an
And
E7 because you're slotted
exactly,
as one. Correct.
exactly. You know
Yeah.
what? So I think that's the issue. They need to figure out ways to have a slot, extra slots, in battalions or at the brigade level, like a platoon. I don't care, like a transitioning platoon, a piece,
Yeah.
for people that are PCSing or people that are in processing, out processing, medically retiring, getting kicked out, to where companies can go ahead and, hey, we're gonna put you on their per stat
Yeah.
or something like that, so
Yeah.
you're not treated like
Well, and they
you
do.
know.
Main Post has most of them. I've only been to a few, right? But most of
Yeah,
them, they have a transition barracks, right?
yeah, it's the was it WTU?
Because we sent somebody from our unit to them. He was allegedly getting out at the time. I don't even know if he ever got out.
Yeah.
And you just become like a bus driver for new soldiers coming in. You do jobs for transitioning.
Hmm.
And why, if you're tell them, hey man, sign this paper if you're getting out, because people last minute they'll change their mind. But you make them sign something. If you're getting out, this is where you're going, because then they know we will have your slot filled on this day because you signed 3 months ago that you're leaving.
Exactly.
End of story. And now if you
Mhm.
want to have some sort of, hey, I can't get out because of this, okay, you go where we send you now. You don't get to
Yeah.
pick your next duty station. Now you're getting orders. You're going to Korea. Here you go. I'm just saying, because it should be a repercussion of you don't have a decision.
right.
That's on you,
Yeah.
and I'm totally fine with that. But what I'm not okay with is a first sergeant and commander denying your CSP, and then people bitch about, why is there homeless vets? Why is there this? It's like, yeah, it starts with our leadership, dude,
Yeah.
and
100%.
mine specifically. I've heard a lot of complaints about them with not letting people do the programs and when they're leaving. So the Army needs to hold first sergeant and the commander accountable, and if not, your sergeant major and BC. Because if there's a box on their OER and NCOR that says how many people have a job when you get out, things will change immediately.
Yeah.
Because now
absolutely.
because you know what they're gonna do. You bring me 10 jobs that you've applied for or what have you, right? Not literally, but you know what I mean? Like, have some sort of proof, because they want to get that good score, and that's that it has to be that way, because, we talked about generalized respect. Like, you should respect your soldiers, even though you outrank them and blah, 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 they are supposed to respect you. In return, you should respect them and, hey, are you good to leave? Because if you're not, you're staying in.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. You really have to be a parent to these people.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think the senior leaders these days, like, they're not concerned about soldiers as much as they used to be. When I initially
If
came
at
in the
all, dude.
military, yeah.
It's every
When I
man for
initially
themselves. Man, even me and I got out. It's only been
Exactly.
3 years now, and it's like it's every man. I've had really good friends that would turn their back on me immediately.
Yeah.
If it was for their sake, like to improve them, like promotion wise, leadership. Oh, here you get an award for this. They would turn their back on me immediately.
Brother,
No
it
doubt.
never used to be like that. Let me tell you, like,
No,
when I
man.
first came in, NCOs, I had so much respect for the non-commissioned officer corps,
Yeah.
because basically their job, they literally were the epitome of backbone of the military.
Yeah.
They their whole motto, their whole ideology, their whole thought process was, how do I take care of soldiers and their family?
Right.
How do I take care of the military? Me taking care of soldiers and their family is me taking care of the military.
Yeah.
That's how it was viewed before. Whenever a soldier, let's say, was fucked up, like was more ate up than a nine, as we used to say,
Yeah.
it was, we looked at the NCO, like, who's your NCO? Like, he
Exactly.
failed you. And then now, like before, like I said, you look at a soldier that's messing up, they see them as, all right, how do we get the soldier out of the Army? How do we get him out of my military?
Right.
How do we kick him out? When do we start the paperwork? Back in the day, it used to be like, that soldier is fucked up.
Yeah.
What can we do to fix him?
Right.
Like, how can we save the soldier? Like,
Or
you
they
took
would
that
go
shit
to like the
personal.
NCO and be like, hey, why
Yeah.
is he fucked up? It must be the
Exactly.
leader's fault, because in a sense it is, right? Because if
It
I
is,
have a
yeah.
soldier that's like you know, and obviously there is scenarios where you
Don't
can't
get me
control.
wrong. Yeah, there's
You know,
people
there's
that
gonna
are
be
unsavable.
that
Yeah.
50-50. This dude straight up
Yep.
snorting cocaine before work.
Yeah,
Don't look
I've
at a
had a couple
sergeant and be
soldiers
like,
like
it's
that, bro,
your
yeah.
fault. You should have slept with them.
Yeah.
Right? Because get the out of here. And I've had situations
Yeah.
like that where it was something crazy, and I'm like, what the fuck? I think it was underage drinking.
Mhm.
I had a soldier at my first unit, and I think I was a sergeant for like 2 months in or something like that. And I start getting yelled at because one of my soldiers, I was training with SF at the time. I was gone for 2 weeks, and I get back, and one of my soldiers, they went through his barracks room and they found alcohol. And they started yelling at me like, how did you let this happen? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the are you talking about, dude? I was like, should I sleep in the kid's room, right? If I do a barracks check, I'm not going through his door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking in his room. Okay, it looks pretty good. It's cleaned in here, right? We're not allowed to go through their sock drawers and their closets that are locked. Obviously, there's ways to hide it. Oh, let me hand it to my buddy who's 21 and then give it back to me when the room inspection's over. And it's like when they get so high in rank, they forget that these are children. They're going to be sneaky, right? They're going to go behind your back. And instead, they just look at the NCO right away and are like, it's your fault he did this.
Yeah.
And in those instances, it makes no sense. Now, if I didn't report he was late for PT and he ended up killing somebody, I could see how that may be the NCO's fault.
Yeah.
Why did he not tell nobody he's not here, right? So there's certain circumstances where it matters, but you know, then we're getting off topic anyway. In that aspect.
That's what we do, man.
Yeah.
But we were basically, just to get us back on track. So basically, how the Corps lost the NCO Corps. This doesn't give a shit about soldiers anymore.
Yeah. And you know what part of it really is, though? They
Yeah.
started to give officers the
More power,
the authority. Obviously,
Yes.
they're in charge, right? Like they outrank us, but that comes with the you do the planning, we do the execution.
Yeah.
Right. That means if the soldiers are fucked up, we take care of them. We execute. You can come up with the punishment behind doors and say, hey, you know, make him do this if you want to. But instead, in my last unit, they're like having their LTs out there smoking the platoons.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what the kind of army is this, dog?
Like, I've seen the transition. Like,
Right. It's bad.
The NCOs and officers used to have such a great balanced relationship.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a mom and dad relationship.
Yeah.
You know, like where you knew your role.
Yep.
In the relationship. But now it's been tainted so much because they're trying to give officers more responsibility, more control,
Right.
to where they've taken so much control, so much power out of the NCOs that they're basically useless now. You know,
yeah, and then they'll sit there and say, "Oh yeah, I have to do it because you can't handle it," or some stupid shit. And it's like, do you mean when I'm handling it and you say I got it because I'm in charge? Doesn't make any sense. When I first joined, we were not allowed to speak to our lieutenant. I only knew his name. I don't think I've ever talked to him. My platoon sergeant was like, "You don't talk to this person." And he would he told my lieutenant as well, hey, because he was new, Butterbar, you know, he's like, you don't talk to the soldiers. And that was the end of it. You don't talk to each other. You come through me and I will I will execute. You tell me what you want them to do. I will tell them what to do. You guys have a problem. You come to me. Nobody talks to him. And that's how it was.
Yeah.
And a couple years later, it's like, all right, sir's going to lead PT today. And it's like, what the fuck? Why? All he can do is run. Officers are straight dude. All they do is run, and they think they're athletes. You know, you guys with a heart.
Yeah.
You know,
full fist.
So, but anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up. You shared a little bit. You know, I think the Army needs to do a little bit better with transitioning.
I think they need to revamp the whole program. Honestly, I think they need to have a better structure.
Yeah.
A more tailored program for soldiers, because not every soldier is the same.
Exactly.
You got a soldier like yourself that already has a plan.
Right. Well, and
but
I
then there's
joined at
soldiers.
21, I was a full grown man
Yeah,
at this point. It's
exactly.
like, and I joined. So I already knew,
Yeah.
hey, when I get out, I better be prepared, right?
Yeah.
A lot of you guys that join when you're so young, you don't know any better. And even if you joined at 21, 22, whatever you were, you spent 17 years listening to somebody else.
Exactly.
So your brain is automatically waiting for someone to call you. Here's a job, Mike. And instead you're like, fuck, dude, I have to go get one now.
Bro,
You know what I mean?
like the thing is, I wasn't mentally ready for it. I wasn't willing to accept. I never accepted that I was getting out. Like, it was not real to me.
Right.
There's soldiers that are like that, and that really me up, because I wasn't financially ready to get out the military. I didn't have a job lined up. I didn't know what I was gonna do. Like, I just winged it, basically. And that's the wrong answer. For soldiers like me, like, it's completely the wrong answer, but a lot of it is mental.
Yeah.
Like, I think part of the program should be, hey, you need to go to behavioral health and talk about the transition you're going through. So you can get your mind right. Get your mind ready to transition. And the other part is, all right, what's your plan? You don't have a plan? All right, here's what you need to do. You need to go talk to this career counselor, civilian career counselor. That'll help you translate your skills into civilian. Like there's so much. It's so easy to come up with some sort of better program than what there is right now. But they're just not doing it. Anyway, that's my take on the whole thing. I mean, we could talk about this endlessly. And we
probably will. We'll probably come back and touch base on it. I'd like to get active duty in here and have a conversation with a senior leader. So if you're a senior leader and you would like to touch base on this, give us your thoughts. You do not have to agree with us. But if you would like to talk about it, please hit us up in the comments or message us directly, and we will get you on the show, and we will have a conversation about this.
Hey, and also, if you're actually going through the program right now, if you're transitioning out of the military, like, hit us up. Let us know if there's anything that's changed. We're probably going off of outdated information, but maybe they did get better. Or maybe, like, we could get you on and you can tell us exactly, hey, this is what's going on. So people can get firsthand account of what's going on.
So anyway, in the comments, give us your thoughts. If you're a senior leader, please take care of your soldiers. Talk to them. Ask them, are you actually ready? If they're a piece of crap, do the same. Everybody deserves a fighting chance. That being said, 22 seconds, your way.